So you see what happened there. We had a lot of fun, I will say. All right, so you can tell that I've packed a lot of stuff into 80 years of my life. If you watched any of those other videos, you saw some other stuff that I was doing. But I have been blessed. The good Lord blessed me with my good health and a great wife. And is she still here? I don't know if she's out there. Anyway, I've been blessed with a great wife too. Now, most of you know my middle name is Fun, and I'm not paying. Goes part of my Fredosophy. We'll get back to Fredosophy in a minute. So to save money, I've combined 2 events into this one party. My 80th birthday, which you already know about, and my retirement. I know a lot of you are going to be happy, and a lot are going to be sad. But look at the good thing. You don't have to buy gifts. I didn't want you to bring gifts tonight, and you don't have to bring a gift for the retirement party. Most of you know me as a motorcycle racer that just happens to be a dentist. Some the reverse of that. So, am I retiring from dentistry or motorcycle racing? I know you're all wondering about this. So, let's ask another question. How did Dr. Cameron, or Fred Cameron, get involved with motorcycles? How did he get into this? I mean, why isn't he a golfer? All dentists are golfers. Well, you know, everyone here has a person or two in their lives that have made a difference about some little thing, how they went. They got to a point in their life where they took a direction. They went this way or they went that way. And one of those persons in my life, for me, was a little kid. He was 13 years old. And I just got out of the Navy, and he was a little neighborhood kid that come around, and he'd say, I'd say, how are you guys doing? What are you doing? We're riding bicycles, and we're riding motorcycles. What are you doing on motorcycles? Oh, we ride up on the ridge. We go up on the hill. Really? So he talked, he said, you need to get one. You need to get a bike. And he just kept saying it over and over again. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And one day I'm working on a patient, and the guy says, guess what? I don't have any money, but I have a motorcycle I'll trade you. And I said, oh, good idea. I want a motorcycle. I didn't know I wanted a motorcycle, but so he trades me a motorcycle for a crown. Did 1 crown. Took that motorcycle down to the motorcycle shop. It wasn't a dirt bike. It was a street bike, and traded it on a dirt bike. Called Gil, called my friend, said, I've got this bike. Where do you go? He says, you just go up on the ridge. I didn't know where the ridge was. I didn't know where it was. So I went to the school, rode in the backyard of the school. They had a few, luckily I didn't get arrested. But I said, this is nothing. This is crazy. But anyway, after this for some time, then he finally took me up on the ridge, and I met all his friends. And you know, I see a lot of them here tonight, and it's kind of funny that you're all here. And I'd like you to stand up so people can recognize who these little kids they were. They were like 10 to 13 years old. And Blake is here. I know he's here. Blake Andros, who owns Blake Auto Body. You've seen his advertisements on TV.
Red, I retired 2 months ago.
Well, to me, you're still with Blake Auto Body. Gilly Norman in the back. I see him over there. Can you stand up, Gil? Eric Koski, another kid, took me up, taught me a lot. These kids all taught me how to ride a motorcycle. And from that incident, all those incidents of being on the ridge. I just took that road down to being a motorcycle racer. Took me all over the world. Went everywhere. Europe, United States. Just kept going.
All the way to national champion.
Oh, I didn't mention that. I don't want to brag about it. Anyway, to this day, I'm still benefiting from this first dirt bike that I traded for that began my racing career and went on to race all over the world. Anyway, the kid that started me out is here tonight. It's Gilly Norman. Gilly, could you stand up? He was 13 years old. Thank you, Gilly. I've really enjoyed my career as a motorcycle racer.
Me too, very much.
And now, you know the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Of course, I'm retiring from dentistry, not motorcycle racing. I'm still too young to retire from motorcycle. And this brings me to the question of why I've invited you here tonight. It's called Fredosophy. No one gets to 80 without learning a lot from making mistakes and learning from them. So now I'm going to give you some advice that you didn't ask for. But since you came, you're entitled to it, and it's free. And you know what they say about free advice. Philosophers are wise old men that have made it to old age, and they've figured out life. And I think I am included in that. And so now we have the famous philosopher, Fred, who is known worldwide through his motorcycle racing and his philosophy. And in the history books, it's known as Fredosophy. So now I'm giving you Fredosophy, and some of you already know it. Number one, be healthy. Daily exercise. McDonald's and popcorn is fine. Remember, without your health, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It won't matter. So keep your health, that's important. Pick a partner for love. It'll last. Choose a profession that allows you to be your own boss so that you can always take time off for your fun and you can enjoy life. I think that too many people work too much, too hard. Live within your means. Don't buy expensive stuff that requires you to work. Always be the last to reach for your wallet when the bill comes. Remember, I ain't paying. Have several fun and hobbies that you enjoy so that in your free time you will actually enjoy your life. You'll be happy. And last but most important, having faith in God will complete your life by giving you the real meaning and the confidence in knowing where you're going during and after this life. So in closing, I'm reminded of what the national #1 champion motorcycle racer, Mert Lawwell, who's sitting in the back, my neighbor. He was the star of Long Range Sunday, which you saw 5 years ago. Anyway, Mert always told me, Fred, you will lose 100% of the races that you don't enter. He's right. So I'm still racing, Mert.
Good for you. Hang in there.
All right. So we're going to continue the party now with dancing, and I guess I'm the guy that's going to start it off. So Mark is ready for dancing, and we're going to go. I've made a deal with, it's 8 o'clock. I made a deal. We're supposed to end at 9 o'clock. I made a deal go a little bit longer, so you guys will have some fun. Drink up. We have plenty of wine. I don't want any of that wine left over because it goes to the homeless. They'll drink it. Yes, any questions?
What about what you and Gilly told me? Don't let the old man in.
That's true.
You
Yep.
told me that, and you forgot to mention
Yeah, I did forget to mention. But at 80 years old, you know,
it. Well,
they expect the old man. I'm not letting him
but
in.
you're not.
I'm not letting the old man in, no. All right, do we have any questions or comments?
Well done, Fred.
Yeah, Fred!
Comment here. You want to make a statement? Do you need the microphone? This is one of my oldest friends, and you can tell he needs a wheelchair or a cane. I'll just, you know what? Being as young as I am, watch this. I can just jump down.
I'm
That's something you can't do.
Doesn't this look just like the video? Except I didn't know. I'm going to take just a couple of your minutes of time, and I promised Fred.
Don't be nervous.
I promised Fred that I would just pretend that I had to read notes so he wouldn't be so embarrassed about the fact that I had to read. I met Fred over 35 years ago because I was laying in a corner of the motocross at Sears Point. I wasn't there on purpose, but I was lying down there with my bike, and he came around that corner and intentionally ran right over me and right over my motorcycle, and he dented my Honda Elsinore expensive aluminum tank, irreplaceable. So after the racing was over, I found him in the pits and accused him of intentionally costing me a lot of money. And of course, at that point in time, he said, I'll take care of it. And so, in order to make sure that I kept track of him, I became his friend, or pretended to be his friend. And it's lasted quite a while, and he says, I ain't paying. Anyway, we palled around, and I was along, fortunately for me, on a lot of these excursions that he made to Europe, and our wives were along on some kids. If the ship had a water slide, I would agree to go along. And Fred really took care of me. He lifted me up many times when I'd fallen down, both motorcycling and mountain biking.
Windsurfing.
Fred. And I'm sad that he's closing up his practice, because when we went windsurfing on Lake Arenal in Costa Rica, I split my lip all the way from here up to my nose, and we looked for a place to have somebody do something about it, and there wasn't anybody there. The so-called doctor was just a 17-year-old kid who had a lot of sticks with him to splint fractures, and that was all he could do. So we got the rum, we got a mirror, we laid me out in this little clinic that they had. I said, bring everything you have, and they brought all the stitches, and they had some xylocaine, which is nice, and we injected that thing, and he sewed that thing up, and I defy you to even see it now. He did such a good job. He was here. Of course, I will admit that when I looked in the mirror, I did have to tell him to take the stitches out and start over again about 3 times. But he did the job. And I also want to thank him in particularly for introducing my daughter Adrian to Italy and to a job there. And that's now responsible for the fact that I have an Italian opinionated son-in-law who's a foot taller than me. And you know, when a couple people think they know everything, it doesn't always work out. But he's a great guy, and I thank Fred for making that happen. And in return for that, I have done some things for Fred. For example, I have advised him as his elder and sort of a pseudo dad for him, because I'm quite a bit older than he is.
1 year older.
And so I have bought him a little gift here today, and I want to say that he's going to love it, and it really picks me up when I use it, and my wife likes it too. So,
Can I open it?
yeah.
Now we want to see.
I'll hold that for you, because you probably want to save that because you're so cheap.
Are the batteries included? Careful.
Janet, you're gonna love it.
2023. I like it. How'd you do that?
It's fake.
Oh, it must be.
Yeah, he is. Hey, wait.